That's right, we're doing another warrior cat's fursuit. I couldn't resist, alright? I couldn't resist. If you know this channel, then you know that I love warrior cats. I'm even an official warrior cat superfan. Although I think they scrapped that whole superfan thing because they deleted the page off the website and they have not contacted me in years. But that's besides the point. I have done a warrior cat's fursuit before, but last time I did J-Feather, and this time I'm going to be making Scourge. I'm going to do a Scourge fursuit head, paws, tail, and of course his iconic spiked collar, all in this video. So let's start off with the head. And the first step, like with any fursuit head, is to start with the bucket head base. It's just a nice, simple shape like this that goes over the top of your head. And we're going to be carving and gluing and adding loads of foam bits on top of this until it looks like a cat. Because it will look like a cat eventually, alright? And the first bit we're going to add is the muzzle. So for that, we get 3 bits of foam, stick them together, and carve it all down until it looks something like this. And then we can stick it on. Then we also add the lower part of the mouth, which is just this kind of like semi-circle-y kind of shape, and then we just hot glue that on. Now obviously in the end we want kind of a short muzzle because obviously he's a cat, so you know, cats don't really have long muzzles. But to begin with, we will have to make it a bit longer than you'd expect. Because, you know, when we add the rest of the face, it'll look a lot smaller in comparison. It'll kind of bring everything into proportion. So don't worry if it looks a bit goofy at the minute, because it'll fix itself later. The first thing you got to know about fursuit making is just trust the process, alright? Especially when you add the fur. Like once you put the fur on, it looks like a whole different head. It looks completely different and so much better. But we've got a long way to go until that point, so you'll just have to deal with it looking trash until then. And the next thing we need to add are the cheeks to kind of widen the face a little bit. These cheeks are made out of 2 pieces that look like this, with a little bit extra glued onto the side of it, you know, for some extra width. Then they're carved down with some scissors, and we try and get them as even and equal as possible. You're never really going to get it 100% even with a foam base, but, you know, we can try our best. And then after the cheeks, we add this McDonald's M. And you might be a little bit confused at the minute as to what this piece even is and where it goes. But once we stick it on and, you know, do a little bit of carving, you see what I'm going for now, don't you? It's starting to make a bit of sense now. You see it's starting to look like a face. It still looks a little weird though, because we haven't added his ears yet. He looks like bald. Luckily, the ears are pretty easy. We just add 2 big triangles and stick those on top. Although, actually, there is a special little technique I can show you here for the ears. Imagine you have a fursuit like right in front of you, right? And you want to pick it up. How would you pick it up? Most people would automatically try and pick it up by the ears, which you shouldn't do, by the way, because think about it, right? Think about it. The ears are only really held on by this little thin strip of glue. Like they will fall off if you start swinging it around by the ears. Unless we use this little strategy where we get a piece of fabric and glue it to the base of the ears, because, you know, that just gives it a little bit of extra strength. I mean, you still probably shouldn't pick it up by the ears, but, you know, this is at least a little bit of protection in case, like, I don't know, your friend or your mom tries to pick it up or something. But, yeah, that is pretty much the base of the suit done. The only things left to do are just some, like, tiny little nitpicky adjustments and carving, which I'll do periodically throughout the whole thing. Like, the carving stage never really stops until the fur is put on. But for now, we can put this aside and start working on the eyes. Now, if you've watched like any of my previous videos, you'll probably know that the eyes have always been a bit of a bottleneck in the suit creation process. It has slowed down and delayed like basically every single video, I think. Although admittedly, this video was not delayed by the eyes. This video was slowed down by the fact that Deltarune released. So yeah, and FNAF released. So, you know, both in like 2 weeks. I was a bit distracted. And you're lucky that it was just delayed, because listen, when GTA 6 comes out, my god, you'll be lucky to get a video for the rest of the year. But unfortunately, that problem can't be fixed. However, the eye problem delaying us definitely can be fixed. And to fix it, I'd like to learn how to make my own eyes, because up until now, I've just been ordering them online. So I want to make some of my own. Now, one of my Patreon members actually linked me a video and a method for this. So thanks for that, Kitten Box. And the method is basically to just stick it in a printer. Like a regular printer. So, I mean, seems easy enough. The reason I didn't try that before is, you know, I assumed you would need like a special printer or something. Not just a regular bozo printer. But that's what the video said, so we're going to try it. If it breaks the printer, I don't care because it's not my printer. I don't even have a printer. I'm using the one at work. So I took some plain plastic mesh to work with me, and I made fursuits during company time. And when I put it through the printer, this is what I got back. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, you might look at this and go, yeah, perfect. But the only problem is it's still very wet. So I left it overnight and it was still wet. So I tried to use the clear coat on it because I thought, you know, the clear coat would coat the wet ink and then it would dry. But no, apparently that's not how it works. And now it looks all diluted and weird. It is dry though. So like it kind of worked. The clear coat kind of worked. You can't say it was a stupid idea because it did technically work. But yeah, if anyone watching this knows how to do this properly, please drop a comment about it. And I'll also do some research myself before next time. But I'm not going to continue with it now because, you know, I've got a video to make. Alright, I don't want this video to get super delayed. Okay, you guys probably want a video sometime this century. So I ordered a backup just in case of this exact scenario, and we'll pick up this little side quest in the next video. We'll pick back up where we left off and try and make another pair. But for now, let's just continue and make the eyes with these ones that I've ordered. So for the eyes, last video I actually tried a new technique for the eyes and it worked really well. So I'm going to do that again. And the technique is basically to just make the eye blanks really, really big. And then we add like a little frame on top of them to make them more normal sized. And the reason you do it this way is because it makes the follow me effect actually like work properly. Because you see how the eyes always look at you no matter which angle you're looking at it from? Yeah, that's because of the frame over the eye blanks thing. For my older suits, I didn't actually do that. Except my last one, obviously. And I used to just put the eye blanks in, like, straight up. And honestly, it is actually embarrassing how long it took me to figure this out. Especially since the very first tutorial I ever followed had this technique. Yeah, it's a long story. If you want to know why I did what I did in, like, every suit I've ever done, you can go watch my previous videos. But for now, we should probably just get back to work and make this suit. Our base is now completely done with eyes and everything, so we can start patterning it and furring it. And in order to put our fur onto the base, it needs to be the right shape to fit onto the base, obviously, right? And the way we get it into the right shape is by doing the tape thing. There's probably some better terminology out there for it, but I don't know what it is. So I just call it the tape thing Alright, and the tape thing is something we do in every single suit, every single video, even going back to the very beginning. It has literally never changed. Basically, what we do is we cover the whole thing in duct tape, like fully mummify it. Then we go through and we draw out where we want all the seams on the head to be. And once we've done that, we take it all back off, cut it all into little bits, and now we are left with basically a bunch of puzzle pieces that, if you put them all back together, they will be the exact perfect shape of the head. Now that we have all of these duct tape pieces, all we need to do is cut out some fur into the same shape, sew it all up, sew it together, and boom, look at that. Fits perfectly. Well, okay, almost perfectly. It will fit perfectly once we actually glue it down properly. And there we go. See, it's not looking so bad now, is it? And the head is actually almost finished now. We just have a few more little bits left to do. Like the neck, which I made with the same pattern as the lining neck. By the way, I made the lining earlier with the pattern pieces from my last suit. Because, I mean, the interior of a fursuit head is going to be basically the same every single time. So I might as well just use the same pieces. So I used the neck pieces the same way as the lining to make the neck and then sew it onto the actual head. Then next are the rings around the eyes, because we need to cover like the end of the fur right here, otherwise it looks weird and untidy. So to do that, we glue some felt stuff onto the rim of the eye like so, and it makes it look just a lot more quality. So let's move on to the little hair puffy thingy on top of his head. And honestly, I was really tempted to design it like the Flightfoot Warrior Scourge design. You know the one with the emo hair? Does anyone remember that? That video was like the coolest thing if you're about 8 years old. Nowadays, it looks very, very dated. Like, it's that old, it's not even 9:16 resolution. Like, my god. But anyway, yeah, I decided against designing him with the emo hair, and I just went with the standard fursuit hair puff. And that was the last little detail for the head. So it is now done. But I can't show you just yet. Alright, you're gonna have to wait till the end of the video if you want to see the final product. You know, I gotta keep it a surprise. We still have to make a whole bunch of other stuff. Remember, we still gotta do his tail, his paws, and his collar. So let's start off with the paws. And obviously, we need his iconic one white paw. So the gloves are going to be mismatched this time around. One black one and one white one. To make these, I like to use the runner rabbit hand paw pattern. I pretty much use it every single time because it's free. That's really the only reason. I mean, it makes it easier and it's free. I mean, what more can you ask for? And next is the tail, which coincidentally is also really easy. And this one doesn't even need a pattern because it is literally just a tube. Like, get some fur, roll it up, sew it together. And that's literally it. Like, you just stick a belt through it at the end and it's finished. Cattails are like the easiest fursuit part to make literally ever. Although, saying that, this next part was even easier. The collar. It was so easy that I didn't even have to make one. All I had to do was go on Etsy and click checkout. This whole fursuit making thing is well easy, man. But yeah, I bought this purple collar off of Etsy because Scourge's collar is purple. I mean, I don't understand why there's so much confusion and discourse about this. It's literally in the book. It's purple. There can be no confusion. It's literally right there. How could you get it wrong? Oh, for God's sake. Unbelievable. What is wrong with you? HarperCollins, Erin Hunter, Vicky Holmes, whoever makes these decisions, I don't even know. Make up your goddamn minds. Like, just pick a colour and bloody stick to it. It's really not that hard. Like, you don't randomly make Firestar blue sometimes. He's always orange. So why is this any different, man? Absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, I went with the purple because that's what's in the coloured manga, so that's what I went with. I'm considering that canon enough. Although another thing they can't seem to decide on is how many spikes he has in his collar. So we're just going to have to make that part up ourselves. At first, I wanted to add one for each of his victims because, you know, I thought that'd be quite a cool, evil detail. But the only problem is he doesn't actually have that many kills. Like, you know, you might think, oh, yes, Scourge, he's probably killed loads of people. He's proper evil, he is. But, no, he's only got 3. And one of them was Firestar, who didn't even really die. It was just one of his leader's lives. So I guess he actually got 2.1 recurring kills. Unless you count each of the leader's lives as 1 kill, then he's got 11, which is way too many teeth for a collar. Either way, it doesn't really work, so that idea is just going to have to be scrapped. In the end, I just did 5. You know, random number, but it's just a nice round number. And the actual process of making these spikes was super simple. I literally just made them with the exact same pattern as his claws, like on the hand paws. It's just a triangle, basically. And yeah, that, my friends, was the last thing that we needed to do. So now the suit is finally finished. However, before I show off the final thing, I need to thank my new Patreon members, or Patreon member, because I actually got one this time. So thank you to Stray Shaz. Every little bit truly does help, because making fursuits is expensive, alright? I need all the help I can get. So if you want to check out my Patreon and help keep this channel going, the link will be in the description. But now, it is finally time to show off the final thing. The final product. Let's go. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Boom. It turned out pretty good, didn't it? I think I'm really getting the hang of it now. Especially the eyes. Like, not just the follow me eyes effect, but also like the actual shape of them and everything. They're looking quite good now. Although I still think they might need to be slightly bigger. Like just slightly. So I guess next time I'll try and make a bit of a bigger frame for them. And we'll see how that goes in the next video, I suppose. Also, I didn't add a tongue to this one like I normally do. I left it out because, you know, it kind of looks a bit goofy with a tongue. He's not exactly intimidating like this, is he? You know what I mean? Scourge is supposed to be all evil and scary and you know what I mean? So I just left out the tongue for this one. But one thing that I did add this time around that, you know, I thought I'd keep as a little surprise for the end. Boom! The return of the squeaky nose. Do you remember when I used to do these? Do you remember that? I wanted to do it on my last few suits, but they don't really have noses. They just kind of have big snouts. So, like, it doesn't really work because you wouldn't really have a specific place to press it. Like, do you do it up here, down here, left, right, somewhere in between? So I just decided to save that little feature for suits that actually have a proper nose. And also, you may have noticed, I made some magnetic eyelids so that he can have an angry expression. Making these is as simple as just gluing in some magnets to the base before I put the fur on, and then making 2 semicircles of fur, and then putting some magnets inside those as well. This suit will be on sale after this video goes live. The auction will be on the dealer's den if anyone's interested. And also my Deltarune fursuit from last video has not sold yet, so that will be up for sale as well. If you're interested in either one, the link to those will be in the description and on the pinned comment. And next video will be an anniversary special, alright? Because the 1-year anniversary of the channel, of the first video, is coming up soon. So stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss that video when it comes out.